My name is John, and I'm excited for the next 50 days of growth. I like to say it this way, that grace is a gift, but growth, that's a choice. And you and I, we are making the choice to grow in a very specific way over these next 50 days. So obviously you got the Stay Ready journal, you scanned the QR code, and here we are. I'm going to walk through some specifics over the next few minutes to help set you up to win. There's a number of components to the Stay Ready journal. You'll start to kind of figure out how I took a number of different concepts and converged those into one journal. I'm not sure about you, but for me, I've had over the years, many different journals that did different things. And I began to think, man, what if we could take all those different journals and bring them into one journal, one place for a 50-day sprint of growth? I want to walk through some things that are really important, and we're going to start at the top with your 5x50. 5x50, these are the 5 strategic commitments that you're going to complete over the next 50 days. And as you've already seen in your journal, I give you a little acronym that I have found helpful for you to decide what are those 5x50 strategic commitments. These are not tasks. No, these are bigger in nature. I use the acronym 5 to help you think through what these need to be. I would encourage you to do this. Write them first in pencil, then write them in pen or with a Sharpie. And for me, when I go through my 5x50, I sketch them out in pencil. I send those to some buddies of mine that I'm growing with. I even get their feedback. My leadership coach speaks into them as well. Once I know, hey, these are my 5, then I go ahead and write them in Sharpie or in pen in my journal, and I'm ready to roll. 5 stands for far-reaching. So this is going to take some work for you to accomplish one of your 5x50. I stands for in line, meaning this isn't sporadic. This needs to be strategic. And so think about what you've already committed to, perhaps this year, and that will help you decide what is a 5x50 and what isn't. It needs to be in line with who you already want to be. V is viable, meaning this needs to be realistic. There's a number of strategic commitments or goals that are strategic. Truthfully, it's going to take you more than 50 days to complete. It's just not realistic for you to do it within 50 days. So help that or use that to make this more clarifying for you. Is it viable? And then lastly, does it fire you up, man? Is it energizing to you? Because you're going to be seeing your 5x50 every single day. It needs to fire you up. It needs to cause and create energy. Once you know what your 5x50 are, you're going to open up to this page and you're going to fill it out. Like I said, start with pencil, then move on to Sharpie. Write that out. Make sure and write down your day 1 as well as your day 50, then your 5 goals, your name, date. And then this part is so important. Reach out to 2 friends to be your accountability partners, if you will, the 2 people that are going to witness what you are committing to. This part is critical. It's one thing to go on a growth journey in isolation. It's something completely different when you do it in community. This part continues to be one of the most powerful parts for me. When I have my friends sign their name and date it, I know that I'm now on this 50-day growth journey, not alone, but with others. That's so important. So that's the 5x50. Really important for you to start in pencil, then move it to pen, and then it's time to get to work. The next part that I want to talk to you about is the weekly. And so as you begin your week, you're always going to start at the big picture with your 5x50, and then you're going to move to 5x7. And so your 5x7, these are your weekly priorities. Your life is probably similar to my life. A lot of things are coming at us, and it's easy to say yes to good things at the expense of great things. And so your weekly priorities is you starting with looking at your 5x50 as a filter and then saying, all right, if I only move forward and accomplish 5 things over the next 7 days, here's what these 5 things are. For me, man, is it clarifying to write down my 5x7 weekly priorities. This helps me choose what to do and what not to do. This helps me feel like it's been a win at the end of my week. For many of us, I know we get to the end of a week and we're tired, but we're not sure, did we even move the ball down the field? And so use your 5x7 in this way. for you to start your week with great clarity. So that is your 5x7 weekly priorities. And this is so important for us to start our week with great clarity. The next thing that I want to talk to you about, in addition to 5x50 and 5x7, and this is where there's been a lot of questions, which is your 5 daily habits. 5 daily habits. And so on this kind of FAQ video, we're moving from wide lens of your 5x50, then your 5x7 weekly priorities, but then we get down, boots on the ground, 5 habits every single day. 5 habits. Now, why did I put in 5 habits? Well, here's why. You and I become what we repeatedly do. Sean Covey was right. Our habits are significant. Your daily habits will shape your life and have shaped your life. And so these 5 daily habits are so important for you. When you open up to any of the days, I just opened up to day 8, you're going to see the daily look. On the right-hand side are those habits. I want to encourage you, when you complete those, check that off. We have no snooze, no booze, wonder walk, workout, and wisdom. Just real quick, no snooze. This means you're not hitting the snooze button. Really important. I explain it in the journal how significant sleep inertia really is. No booze. Some of you, perhaps you're not 21. You're like, man, that doesn't apply. Well, think of some other kind of addictive thing that is in many ways preventing you from becoming the person you know you need to become. For many that do have this journal, booze is a significant thing. You are committing that day, when you check that off, that you did not have a drop that day. So no snooze, no booze, wonder walk. This is a 30-minute walk outside. You can add some weight to make it a ruck. Workout is a 30-minute workout. Pretty self-explanatory there. Wisdom, this is critical for me. I follow Jesus. I read the Word of God. And so that's where I find my wisdom every single morning. And when I do, I check that box saying, hey, I got some wisdom. Perhaps you're not a person of faith or religion of any kind. Hey, we love that you're part of this community. What kind of wisdom can you start your day with? I would recommend staying off of Twitter and Instagram and other things. Maybe those have a place, but let's start our day with really caring for our mind, getting some wisdom. That's really what that is all about. Now, here's the thing. If you've completed all 5 of those habits, this is really exciting. Pay attention to this. Here's what I want you to do. You're going to go to the scoreboard, okay? You're going to go to the scoreboard. You're going to take out a Sharpie, and if you completed all 5, not 3 out of 5, not 1 out of 5, but if you completed all 5, that's when you take out your Sharpie and you check that circle. Let's just say day 1 comes, you complete all 5 of those daily habits. Do a big check mark on day 1. This is your Stay Ready scoreboard. And what is really helpful and powerful is to get momentum. You can check that off, and then what you can do is screenshot it, share it to some friends of yours, post it on your socials. And here's what I've found when I do things like that, it creates this kind of accountability to a lot of people and momentum. If I've completed all 5, man, I want to get to actually all 50 of those. That's how you keep score when it comes to the daily habits. Again, you will become what you repeatedly do. These daily habits are a huge part of the Stay Ready system. I now want to talk about the daily snapshot. You're going to see this as you walk through your journal. At the top of the page, it says the day for you. Obviously, there's 50 days. This is a 50-day focused journey of growth. And so when you open up to each day, I just want to quickly explain some of the things. We're now clear on the habits portion. There's been some questions around that. But in the top, I have today's thought. And for me, I love quotes, and I love quotes that really make me think or encourage me towards greater growth. So that's on the top. The next part are 3 opportunities for you to write down 3 things that you're grateful for. Gratitude is one of the most powerful things on planet Earth. When you and I start our day by saying, you know what, I'm going to focus on what I do have instead of what I don't have. And so this is you writing down, this is how I do it. I go in those bubbles, 1, 2, 3, and then I write down 3 things that I'm grateful for. The next part is today's priorities. So you've started with your 5x50, then you have your 5x7, then you go to today's priorities. What are the priorities? You can list out 3. I typically write out 5. And then I move to the time frame. This isn't obviously etched in stone, but as I start my day and plan it out, I want to know at what time of the day am I most likely going to accomplish that? And then there's the checkbox when you've completed that. This is really helpful. Again, we don't want to confuse activity with progress. We want to make sure that we're moving things forward. 5 by 50, 5 by 7, and then today's priorities. At the end of the day, it's important for you to go back to that day, and it's helpful to celebrate. Man, look at this. I completed all those habits. Here's what I'm grateful for. Here was today's priorities. On the right-hand side, you can see your notes or your prayers or takeaways from a meeting that you may have had. And then at the very bottom, go ahead and do a quick glance at your 5 by 7. Don't skip this part. Take a quick glance at your 5 by 7 weekly priorities. Check that box once you've done it. Look again at your 5 by 50 strategic commitments, and then go ahead and mark your Stay Ready scoreboard and share that with a friend. Post it on your socials, get people to comment on it. This will create this flywheel of keeping you accountable to really focusing for 50 days. Again, grace is a gift, but growth is a choice, and you've made the choice to experience unprecedented growth over these next 50 days. The next part of the journal I want to explain is what I call the review and preview. So at the end of every 7-day run, you're going to have an opportunity to review the past 7 days and then preview the next 7 days. Don't skip this part. This is so important for you to experience, celebrate, notice the wins along the way. And so, for example, when you open up to the review, it's going to ask you a few questions. What felt like a win this week? Write that down. What was a win? Maybe there was more than one. You can write down a few. What is one thing you learned this week? Learning is the ball game. We have to learn. The Stay Ready system is not about perfection, but it is about noticing the patterns in our life and what we're learning. So what's something that you learned? I love this next question. Who benefited from your growth this week? If our growth is all about ourselves, well, that's not a very compelling story, is it? No, we want our growth. We want our transformation to impact others, those around us, those we're related to and live with, those we work alongside of. So who benefited from your growth this week? Write down that name, perhaps even a couple names. And then you're going to go to take your Stay Ready score for that week. And all you have to do there is flip back and look at the scoreboard. And when you look back at the scoreboard, you're going to see your check over the past 7 days. You're going to see how many of those you checked, and that's going to be your score. Again, you only check it if you did all 5 of those habits. And so that will tell you what your Stay Ready score is from the past 7 days. And let's just say that you were 7 out of 7. So all of those 7 days, all 5 daily habits were accomplished. Then your Stay Ready score would be 7 out of 7. I call that beast mode. Go ahead and circle beast mode. And now we are keeping score. We can share this with some of our friends. The next part is the preview. This is pretty self-explanatory. And at the same time, it's easy to skip. Don't skip this part. It talks about this. What are you looking forward to this next week? Write that down. Think about it. Who is one person you can serve this next week? Again, we want the Stay Ready system to move us beyond ourselves. Our growth should be good news for those around us. Who's one person you can serve? And then the next 2 components are critical. Write down in the spaces below your 5 by 50. And some of you are like, well, I already did that at the beginning of the journal. I know you did, but here's the thing. Do the research on this. Whatever you write down, you're 40% more likely to accomplish. And so you're going to get into this routine of writing your 5 by 50 down each week. So write again your 5 by 50. And then the next part is your 5 by 7 for the upcoming week. So for me, the way this rhythm works is I do all of this on Sunday afternoon or late night on Sunday as I'm looking at the week I just had, as well as the week I'm about to have. So important for me to start Monday morning with great clarity on my 5 by 7. I hit the ground running. I'm ready to go. I'm going to make it another great week as I commit to the Stay Ready system. At the back of your Stay Ready journal, you will see something called white space. White space is an area for you to write down notes, some long-form journal entries, prayers, perhaps For me, I will take my Stay Ready journal into meetings, and now I have a space where I can, in addition to my daily allotted, I can take extra notes. And so again, we want to replace the 5 journals, the stack, with one system, one journal. And so that's what the white space section is for. Bring this to meetings, bring this on a long walk perhaps, and this is where you can jot down all those notes at the back of your journal in the section called white space. In addition to white space, again, at the very every single day, you'll see on the right-hand side a space for you to take down notes, ideas, and prayers. Certainly utilize that, but there's plenty of times where you need just a little extra room, a little extra white space. That's what the white space section is for. Again, grace is a gift, growth is a choice, and you've decided, and I've decided, and we've decided as this Stay Ready community that we're going to grow. These next 50 days are going to hold within those 50 days significant growth in our life. We're here if you want to send in emails and keep us posted on your journey, what you're learning, how you're accomplishing things you've always wanted to accomplish. Here's what we're agreeing on. When obstacles or opportunities arrive, it's too late to get ready. In that moment, you will be ready. Why? You've decided to stay ready. It's a lot easier to stay ready than it is to get ready. And this 50-day journey is going to cause you to be ready because you've decided to stay ready. In advance, congratulations on you completing your 50 days. Anyone can start, but you're going to finish. Keep us posted on your journey. We'll talk to you soon.